All right, so even though you have spoken, I think, very well to this about being forced into communities, ghettos, where the situations are become intolerable, what many in white America see when the black community predates on itself is it reinforces these notions of you're not safe, you're not civilized, we can't let you in our homes, we can't let you be with our kids, and that's wrong. And you gave, I think, an eloquent explanation for why that is. Do you have any thoughts, and I don't want to put you on the spot here, are there any solutions, any things we could do for people living in the inner city? Any thoughts on how we could alleviate that?
You know, every situation is unique. Every inner city is unique. I mean, I would have to be in a position of political leadership in, say, Chicago, and really examine the situation there to decide and determine what needs to happen here to break up this sort of inner city congestion and to give, minorities a chance and an opportunity to get out, to migrate out of that situation. I don't think I can just, there's a standard answer
fair
for
enough,
that.
that's fair enough. But here's the thing.
Leaders are going to have to take
Right.
responsibility for doing it.
And you mentioned Chicago, which is by far the worst city in the country for black violence. I mean, they have like 300, 400, 500% of the homicides than anybody else in the country. And the outcry from the black community has been huge. Please save us, we're being slaughtered here. And there was an incident about a couple months ago where now they have teams of police officers walking the streets and they're patting people down and stuff. And they encountered this one black man, and they wanted to pat him down. He broke away, and they tried to grab him. He broke away, and he lifted his hands up, and he had an automatic handgun here and an ammunition belt here, and they took their guns out and they shot him in the street. And there was a huge outcry in the black community. And it's like, wait a minute, these police officers are here trying to protect your families and yourselves, and this is one of the guys that's doing it because it's these drug gangs are the real problem. They all know who the problem was. They just can't get them convicted. And yet the black community still protested that once they shot a man who's probably been victimizing their friends, cousins, maybe themselves for a long time. And that the white community kind of goes, well, I don't get it. I don't understand that.
I hear your point, but as a counterpoint, we recently had a situation where a white guy was confronted by a bunch of police officers, and he shot and killed like several of them, and they arrested him peacefully and took him to jail.
I remember that. He barricaded himself in
If
the
he
house,
was black, he'd have been dead so fast. So
No,
what I'm saying is, where do we go with this?
All right, but I don't think you answered my question.
Well, there is no answer
Well,
to it. I mean,
let me-
of course, both of these, black and white, whatever you want to call them, we're in the wrong. You're walking around and, you're carrying all kinds of guns and whatnot, and you think police aren't going to be threatened and respond aggressively to that, I'm just surprised the white guy survived. But that's racism in society.
That is. So let me just add one thought. I'm not saying I have the answer to it, but again, I'm kind of attuned to the situation in the Middle East. And I look at Arabs in the Middle East, Muslim Arabs, and if I asked if I asked you to guess who had killed more Muslims, okay, was it American troops? Was it Israeli troops? Was it coalition forces, including Europeans? Or was it other Muslims? Which one would you say?
I'd probably say other Muslims.
By a factor of about 100. Saddam Hussein slaughtered his people. The Khomeini in Iran slaughtered his people. Bashar right now in Syria slaughtered his people. Gaddafi slaughtered his people. And there wasn't really much of an outcry. But God forbid if an American soldier kills one, there's an outcry, and then if an Israeli soldier does it, it's a cause to be brought to the UN. So it is this tribalism, and there is a phrase in the Islam world that says, I will protect my brother against my cousin, I will defend my cousin against the world. And that is the essence of tribalism. And so it's getting in our way. It's getting in our way.
It is.
And when we come back from break, maybe we can talk about some things we can do to maybe mitigate that. But
And I don't think there's an easy answer for this. I mean, because, it's something in human nature that kind of plays this out. Because as you say, it's not just a black-white thing. It happens all over the world. And, we can try to speak to that. But
when we get back, we will, okay?
Yeah, we got it.
All right.